everyone! Well, we're here, we're back, and today we're doing another anti-MLM video, and for this video we will be talking about Monat. I feel like any Monat call that we react to always has something special. It gives some sort of weird energy about it, because I feel like the Monat girlies, along with the essential oil girlies, just have this air about them, this weirdness that I really can't describe. It's like they are so incredibly passionate about the products they sell, yet weirdly enough, they only talk about the products when it is convenient, because most of the time they're talking about the opportunity. But unlike the essential oil girlies, who I think are just high on their essential oils throughout whatever video they are doing, maybe the Monat girlies are high on shampoo oils. Oh, I know they have like a hair oil that they put in their hair, so maybe they're high on that, and that's what gives them this weirdness about it. I hope you understand what I'm talking about. These girls just have an intensity about them that I think they view as like strength and power and strong and dedication, but I just view as, calm down, it's okay, you're only supposedly trying to promote a shampoo, it's not that serious. So if you guys like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you really like it, please subscribe. Make sure to check out my description below for all my fun links. I have links to my Patreon, my channel members, which are just other ways to help support the channel. I have an anti-MLM playlist, which has over 200 videos at this point, and I have an email that you can send content to, that if you ever find it while scrolling social media, you can send it over there. And with all of that said, let's get started.
Hello, good evening, good morning. I just looked on here and I realized as I was starting this video, this is one of the questions I get all the time: how do your necklaces not tangle? And for some reason right now it is tangled. Okay, hi you guys. Hi. I am so freaking, I'm like 2 nights in a row, I have laid in bed. You guys, I have a new show. I'm gonna get into my topic, but for those of you guys who have followed along with my whole show, I don't even know, saga. Okay, I'm not a social media scroller. I'm not a reality TV girl. I am very obsessive with my time and it not being wasted. Like, wasted time is my #1 pet peeve. So anyways, we were out to dinner with some friends last week and they were talking about they had lived on a boat for a little while, blah, blah. Long story short, the show Wicked Tuna got brought up. And I don't know why the name, I think it's the name of the show that kind of like stood out to me. So I looked up this show and I'm like, okay, I am the person that is going a million miles a minute. Like, I would rather work than sleep. I would rather do that. Like, I would rather be in here working than sleeping. Like, I'm not a person who enjoys it. I'm not a person. So anyways,
I don't know why, but her just stopped me. Like, I'm not a person that enjoys it. I'm not a person. Yeah, you sound like just like a robot of like go, and I think that a lot of people get on that like Grindset mindset sort of thing of just like, I need to be working constantly, otherwise my time is wasted. But they need to also value themselves as a person and taking care of themselves, and sleep is one of those things. Sleep is so incredibly important when it comes to the health of every single person. Like, I'm someone that absolutely loves sleep. Like, I look forward to going to sleep. Like, I love getting good sleep. I love sleep. I really do. And sleeping to me doesn't take away from the fact that I am not successful. Like, I'm wasting my time. I view sleep as something good, something healthy. And I think that that is a healthy mindset to have, because not a lot of people get the luxury of good sleep and don't, they're on that grind, or they have to work overnight shifts and work 24 hours, and they would long for good sleep. So I value the fact that I do have that. And I think people who don't take advantage of that when they have it, I think is not a great mindset to have. I think having good sleep and being excited about sleep, and I'm just going on a sleep rant. I didn't even mean to comment really on that. It was the fact that she ended with I'm not a person. It's yeah, when you don't sleep, I guess that does, you kind of just don't feel like yourself when you don't sleep. I think maybe that's what I was going for with all of that.
I do require some wind down time, okay? I fall asleep very easily watching TV. So I started watching Wicked Tuna. For those of you guys who know, Naked and Afraid has been, I've watched every single Naked and Afraid episode that there is. I like watching it because I feel like I learn something from it, okay? I have also an addiction to learning. If I'm just watching drama bullshit, it's not good for me. I have this pit in my stomach, and I'm wasting time, and it's I don't care.
She's really on this wasting time thing, and I think she probably more than likely instills this into her downline. I guarantee that if anyone a part of her downline mentions a reality TV show, she probably freaks out and talks about how they're wasting their time and they'll never be successful because they're wasting their time watching the show, which could just be somebody's guilty pleasure to help them wind down and decompress from the day. Everybody has a different thing that they enjoy in order to wind down. You don't constantly, every single second that you're awake, need to be grinding work, learning something new. It's okay to turn your brain off sometimes.
About these reality shows, I literally can't do it. So then I started watching Love is Blind, and I loved the whole, just, I don't know, the psychology behind that. And
Isn't Love is Blind a reality show, though? And, technically there's a bunch of reality shows that do have, a psychology behind it. Big Brother is one of them. I used to watch every single episode, every single season of Big Brother, and it is, it's very psychological, watching these people who are just strangers put in a house together and just say, live. And then depending on, challenges can screw things up, mess things up. But really the most exciting, interesting part is the human psychology of how they go about interacting with each other, how they can manipulate each other, how they, get so close so quickly. And it's very interesting. The show has definitely changed over time, for sure, and it's not as psychology based. At least I feel it's definitely become a little more mainstream, and they focus on different things than they used to. But I do still think that most reality shows do have a base of the human psyche and how it reacts to certain things.
I thought it was really cool and unique, and learning about different things. Well, now we're watching Wicked Tuna. Okay, so we're watching this show called Wicked Tuna. If you guys don't know what it is, it's a fishing show. For those of you asking on here, my pajamas are from Lunia. Okay, they're expensive as shit, but they're absolutely the best quality and super, super worth it.
Is she promoting something without getting paid for it? So that's promoting a reality show or a TV show without getting paid for it, and talking about the pajama set that she has without getting paid for it. Oh my god, she's doing this totally wrong. Anytime you talk about anything, you have to get paid for it, otherwise it's not worth your time.
I'm not sponsoring them or anything. That's literally I paid full price for this. It's great. It's worth it. Okay. So the show called Wicked Tuna is about fishermen who they're fishing for tuna. Okay. And it's a show that there's I don't even know. I think there's 9 seasons or something like that. I started the latest one and then went back to the beginning, and now we're just kind of going back and forth in between it. And my business brain is just exploding. Okay, you guys, because I'm like, holy shit. Like, first of all, they have to buy a boat. Then they have to, go into like extreme debt and pray to God that they catch something. And then, sometimes there's days when they're spending $1,000 in fuel and on all of this stuff, and they don't catch anything. And that's just in stuff. That's not including like their boat. That's not including all the stuff. So either way, my business brain is like going, right? So then I did this thing, and you guys forgive me. I'm going to be a little all over the place right now, as I most of the time am. But my head is freaking spinning right now that I had to get on here, and I just had to maybe let some of this out so that my poor husband doesn't have to listen to me anymore about this. So either way, got this is night, I don't even know, a few nights ago, I was like, oh my gosh, I have to get on here and I have to talk about this, because I think that there's so much about the business that I'm in. For those of you guys who don't know, I'm in direct sales. I am in an MLM company, I'm partnered with an MLM company.
No, you were right. You are in an MLM company. That is correct. You can reword it to sound maybe a little bit fancier of partnered with, but no, you are in an MLM company. I do appreciate her for saying that, because most of the time they never say MLM, that I'm in an MLM company. They rarely even say the name of the MLM company that they're in.
I sell shampoo. I have a giant team. I have literally devoted the last 5.5 years of my life to this company and building a super, super successful team. And, I love business. I love business. And I think that if you're someone who is giving, I don't even want to categorize us in MLMs altogether. If you're giving money and this opportunity the side eye, you need to look into it more. You need to ask the questions. You need to look at the compensation plan. You need to look into it more, because
Well, what about looking at the income disclosure statement that shows that over 90% of the entire company of Monat is in the first rank of the company, proving that nobody at all is making money unless you are in the 0.01% of the company. Less than 1% of the company are the ones making the absolute most money, when over 90% are not making anything. So why didn't you say look at the income disclosure statement to see what is typical? Not look at the compensation plan that is confusing and throws a bunch of numbers everywhere to make it look good, make it look fancy, make it look doable, when in reality we know it is very, very difficult to sell this overpriced shampoo.
I did that too. I gave this business the side eye as I was literally drowning in debt, on the verge of divorce, with no freaking time for my husband and all of these things. I had a very successful business, okay? I worked with many different celebrities. I was on many different shows. I was filming my own pilot for my own reality show in negotiation with HGTV and different networks. I mean, there was a lot of really, really, really big. So if you're someone who owns a business right now or has a career, do not count yourself out.
No, always count yourself out, because you'll make no money. You'll just be throwing money away at this business and continuing to make the MLM Monat a lot of money and the uplines a lot of money, but not yourself any money.
Do not count yourself as, this is what I chose, this is what I'm doing, this is what I have to do for the rest of my life.
Well, I mean, that's true. You don't have to do whatever you're doing right now, does not have to be the constant forever. But joining an MLM should never be even in the realm of maybe sort of, I could look into this. Just don't even look at it. Like she says, give it the side eye, don't give it any eyes.
No, that's not God's plan all the time. And I promise you, sometimes the plan is actually what you're doing now is setting you up for what is coming. Okay. So as I'm watching this, the business is called Monat. Or the business is Monat, shampoo business. Literally, it's like the most simple thing ever, all right? So this little tiny hair tie is kind of driving me nuts. It's not holding my hair up. So I'm watching this show. Again, you guys, like I said, I'm going to be all over the place right now. 4 nights ago, something like that. I'm sitting there and I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't handle how, and I use myself, I put myself in that position a lot, like how much about this business is not taken serious. Like there is so much that people could be doing. And I know I'm all over the place. Like I'm talking about business, I'm talking about TV shows, I know. If you weren't with me from the beginning, you're probably like, what the hell is she talking about?
I've been here since the beginning and I'm still confused.
Watching this show called Wicked Tuna, okay? And it's a fishing show. And basically they have to go out and they only make what they catch, okay? So it's like these commission-based jobs and all these different things. And the reason why I'm getting on here and I'm sharing about this is because I started this challenge, all right? Here. Okay, so I started this challenge with my team today. And I have a lot of girls going for the top 3% of the company right now. We're in like super heavy momentum. Like
the top 3% of the company. Let's look at Monat's income disclosure statement. All right, so here is Monat's 2022 income disclosure statement. As I said earlier, over 90% of the entire company is at the first rank market partner. Average annual gross earnings is $133. The starter kit that they need to buy is $199, so they've lost money. And then she said the top 3%. So let's just say the second rank of the company, because I mean, that's 4% of the company. 4%. And they're making $1,200 a year. $100 a month. And that's not profit. And then let's even give her the benefit of the doubt and say maybe she meant the third rank of the company, which maybe at one point was the top 3% of the company. That's 1.76. That's 1% of the company making almost $3,000 a year. And when you word it as a bunch of people are going for the top 3% of the company, that sounds great. Out of complete context, you're like, wow, they must be going for a lot of money. They must be really trying hard. They must be really high up there in their business to be going for the top 3% of the company. But when you look at the income disclosure statement, that's like within the first 3 ranks. Making, out of the top 3 ranks, the highest grossing person was making $3,000 average a year. People cannot be quitting their jobs, doing this full time for $3,000 a year. They just can't. So it is incredibly misleading to just word it as top 3% of the company, because most of the time people are probably not going to really look too much into it, and they're going to just hear top 3%, which any other company, that's crazy. That is a very hard position to get to in whatever company it is. Unless you are in an MLM, then it's probably within the first 5 ranks of the company and you're really not making that much money. So it's extremely misleading.
I wish that I can give you guys a visual of what's happening, but either way, I'm trying to paint a picture in different directions.
Well, paint one picture and make that picture clear instead of talking about a TV show. And I guess the only way that it's okay to talk about a TV show in an MLM is if you can use it to guide your way to talking about business and the MLM and why it's important and why it's awesome to be in an MLM and not a part of that reality TV show. It's like she just can't not stop thinking about Monet. Even while watching this TV show, she's thinking about how she can use it for her next live. There is no off time. It is constantly MLM mindset on the brain every single second. And I don't want that. I don't want to be thinking about work and how I can manipulate the things around me in order to manipulate the people who are watching me. I don't want that.
Sitting on the sidelines and you're like, what is going on? I'm gonna try to unfold it to you right now. So I'm being tagged in all these different things, right? I promise you all of this is gonna come together and make sense out.
I kind of doubt that because she is very much all over the place.
One point of this video. So I'm sitting there, I'm finishing up planning a retreat that I have for the end of this month, which you guys, it's like to be around like-minded women and people who just literally truly want to better their life and grow their income for their family, to be able to have more choices and be able to, you know, really bring, I mean, I'm watching all of these things. I'm sorry. I know your head's probably spinning listening to me talk right now. My head's spinning thinking of all the things because I just watched probably 30 videos of girls that are on my team sharing about what this business has done for their life. Okay. So I have all these videos playing, and then I have freaking Wicked Tuna in the background, right? And they're like,
so you're not even paying attention to the show, you're just half listening. So you more just had it on as background noise. And you're just like listening like, oh my god, like they caught a tuna today, or oh, they didn't catch a tuna today. If only they were in an MLM, they would have made so much more money. That has to be her mindset.
Losing more money, losing more money, losing more money, losing more money. And then
just like an MLM. Oh my god, super accurate. But yet you're going to talk about how much money you do make in the MLM, how much money the MLM can bring you, not the fact that it's a complete and utter gamble when you join an MLM, and you need to have a lot of things stacked in your favor in order for that gamble to kind of pay off. And I don't mean gamble like, because literally you could go to Vegas and gamble and probably make more money than you would in an MLM, which is horrible and terrifying statistics. But you need to have a huge following. You need to have money in order to invest quite a bit of it into this MLM. You need to have friends and family who have money, who are willing to invest and join underneath you in this MLM. So you need to have those things on your side. You also need to be decently good at social media. I guess you can learn, but you also need to have like a kind of sort of stereotypical look about you in order to get pretty successful in an MLM. At least that's what it seems like. And you need to not care about people. You need to be okay with taking advantage of other people with the ruse that it's all to help women and have women succeed, but yet you're just taking advantage of women so that you can succeed. And I think that a lot of people, when they get to that point, they realize what they have to do in order to be successful. They don't want to be a part of that. Or they don't have any money to keep investing into the business in order to maybe sort of someday see a higher rank. And also taking advantage of people. The taking advantage of people is always going to be a part of it when in an MLM.
One of them will like catch a fish and they'll catch up, and then one of them will catch a fish and then they'll like pay back for the days. So my point with all of this is this: the truth about the business that I am in is that you literally have every ounce of success at your fingertips if you let go of your ego. Okay? The latest video I watched right before I got on here was a girl, and I'm actually...
That's like saying, like, the people in Wicked Tuna have everything to lead towards success because there's always going to be fish to catch. They just have to let go of their egos. Their egos are too big. The fish are there. Just stop thinking too much about it. It's such a dumb argument to make that it's the individual who is egotistical and doesn't think they're going to do it and doesn't think they can strive for it because everything's perfectly laid out for them. And if they just aren't selfish and they just follow the systems, they'll be successful. So you're telling me that 91% of the company that you are a part of, all of those people who are in that first rank are just egotistical? All of them? And have chosen to not follow the systems because of their ego? I'm gonna say that's not the case.
I'm gonna share it after I get off of here. And it was a girl, and she was sharing about how she watched me prior to this business, or prior to, starting in this business. And the thing that attracted her to my whole Instagram and energy and everything was the fact that I didn't give a shit what people think. Okay? Now, this isn't to say that I didn't have those egotistic moments when I came into this business, because I absolutely did. Okay? All of those thoughts that every single one of you have that are holding you back right now, I've had those thoughts. It's just a matter of how I pushed through it, how I responded to it, how I allowed myself to go from that thought, like what I did from that place. Okay? Successful people, anyone that you see and you look up to, they did not have those same feelings, same emotions, same thoughts, same doubts, same, insecurities, same all of those things. Everyone has those. Every single person in the world has those. Every single person has doubts and insecurities and negative thoughts and all of those things. But the big difference between someone who is successful and someone who comes into this, and I'm just going to use this business as an example. We have people coming into this business every single day, right? I personally have people coming into this business every single day, but they're like, yeah, I don't want to talk about shampoo on my social media yet. Or they're not watching the trainings, or they're not doing this, or they're not willing to do that. They're not, and it's just.
I mean, you're probably over exaggerating, but you said they're not willing to talk about shampoo on their social media yet. I think the yet is very important because they want to feel comfortable leading up to that. They want to feel comfortable with the product and know a little bit more about the product and the business before blindly going in and sharing it and telling everyone it's the most amazing thing they've ever touched in their entire lives. And maybe they are not watching every single training. Maybe they have watched a couple trainings, or maybe they're like, this is my business and I want to go about it my way, the way that I want to do it. I didn't know that I had to follow all of these rules and watch all of these videos, all for free, all on that person's own time for free. Maybe they don't want to do that, and I don't blame them because you promised them that this is their own business, their own time. They get to do in the luxury at the comfort of their own home, but then they get in and you're like, okay, immediately start talking about social media. Start watching all these trainings. And then she said, or they didn't do this, or they didn't do this, or they didn't do this, or they didn't do this. So now it's like, do this, do this, do this, do this, do this, do this. It's extremely overwhelming for them when they get in because they believe it's going to be one way. They believe it's going to be fun and simple and easy. And they're going to have this new wonderful community that loves them. And all they have to do is talk about shampoo and that's it. But then they get in and they have to do so much more stuff than they thought. So I don't blame them for being overwhelmed and feeling overworked and feeling like they have no idea where to start and what to do. I don't blame them.
Like, when you dive into any business and you don't treat it like a business, it's never, ever, ever going to pay you like a business. I think of every single thing. And the reason why I brought up the fishing show was because, you guys, there are multiple days in a row when nothing happens for them. Nothing. They gain nothing. They're in debt. They're indebted to the freaking, praying to God that they catch something just to pay back on the fuel and the bait and the time that their crew has out there. So my main message in all of this, which now I'm just like, I literally like, I need to get on here when I have all of my thoughts together and like be a little more organized with this. But I guess it's just like, stop holding yourself back. Like, stop holding yourself back with like any lame excuse that you're giving yourself. Like, whatever you're telling yourself of why you're not successful, why your team is stagnant, why this business isn't for you, whatever it is bullshit. It's all bullshit. Because every single one of those thoughts, every single person who is successful has had them. Okay? So push through whatever you're going through. If you're making an excuse or a reason why this business or this opportunity or whatever is not for you, and maybe this main message was to people who are already in the company, people who have already said yes. Like, if you've said yes and you've let it slip, like, dive back in. Like, who cares what anyone thinks? Like, caring about what your neighbor's gonna think about you stopping your shampoo business and diving back in, like, who gives a shit? You're not gonna give a shit when you have 100 grand in your bank account in a year.
In a year. No, she's crazy. She's delusional. Though that's impossible. Don't say that. That's extremely misleading. You should not say that if you dive back into this and you just follow the systems and you do everything you're supposed to do, in a year you'll have 100 grand in your bank account. If that was the case, I will say it over and over and over again, then the income disclosure statements would reflect that. They would.
Like, trust me, that's not gonna phase you. So it's like, worry about where you're going. Think about the things that are going to motivate you to get there and motivate you within yourself. What is going to get you up in the morning and keep you excited to do the things, okay? If you're sitting there and you're watching me and you've been watching me and you're like, I just don't think it's for me, or I don't know if I could do it. Yeah, you can. Yes, you can. You absolutely, sorry, this hair tie is literally driving me nuts how loose it is.
You're driving me nuts how all over the place you are. It's funny how she's like so worried about what her hair looks like, which, I mean, I guess you're in a shampoo business, you should, but yet almost every person that we ever react to in Monat has their hair up in a bun or in a hat. Like, I always find that funny. But it's like, you're talking about how, who cares about what the person next door thinks, or who cares what that person thinks. I would say the same thing to her. Stop messing with your hair. It doesn't matter. Who cares? It doesn't matter. Stop it. She's only caring because it bothers her. It's annoying her. It's in her mind, it looks bad. It's in her mind, she's judging herself. So she's telling other people to not care about what other people think. But a lot of times our self-doubt is, yes, it is what other people think, and it does have the external consequences and whatnot that we may be real, maybe not, but a lot of it is self-doubt of yourself. You are hard on yourself and where you can go with yourself. So just like how she cares about what she looks in this moment, people who join an MLM and have these doubts are self-doubting themselves. Most of the time it may not even be what the person next door thinks. It's what they think they can do, what they know they can do, and their capabilities. And if they think they are not good at selling because it's a sales job, that is completely reasonable, and they are following their own logic because they know themselves the best.
You absolutely can. You absolutely will, okay? You just have to get through that hurdle, which was a long hurdle for me. Okay, if you haven't watched my story, if you don't know my story, like, you need to go watch it. Because I said absolutely hell to the no to this business. I wanted nothing to do with this, okay? So, all in all, I guess here's what it is. No matter what business you're in, oh my gosh, this is literally, no matter what business you're in, you gotta treat it like a business for it to pay you like a business, okay? You have to, okay, we got that tight there. You have to invest. Some people, I've had so many people tell me that they don't want to start this business because they have to buy a product pack coming into this business. It's like, what? What business on planet Earth can you start for nothing?
There's actually quite a handful of things that you can do with no investment, and it's a great source that you could look for those kind of businesses. YouTube, just YouTube. You know, what business can I start for $0 down? Or what can I do in order to make X amount of money so that I can start investing into whatever business you want to do that's not an MLM? Like, there are businesses out there that you can start for no money. Like, if you have a phone, if you have a computer, there are lots of things you can start doing to make money with no money down. I mean, I guess arguably you could say like your phone and your computer are an investment, but most people kind of already have those things and they don't view it as such.
I'm sorry, I don't know one. Not one that can make you $6 million in 5 years.
Did you just make an income claim? extremely misleading. And it's like she just throws these numbers out there and acts like Monat is the only business that you can start, or an MLM business, but probably Monat is the only business you can start for such little money down, and it's so simple, and everything's laid out for you, and it's just a little bit of investing, and you are so lucky with all the trainings and resources and blah, 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 and you just have to talk about shampoo and you'll make $6 million in 5 years. No, you won't.
Sorry, I don't know. And if you have it, come to me and let me know. You guys, I started my business for $299. I got $600 in product, okay? I literally found out how much money the women in this business were making, and I threw every freaking shit that I gave about anyone's opinion out the window, and I hit the ground running, and I wanted to get this shampoo on every single person's head because I knew the second that they tried the shampoo, they would love it. If you're sitting on the other side of this.
So is the $6 million that you made in 5 years all because you sold shampoo to people? Or is it your massive downline is the cause of you having $6 million in sales? Because it's not all you. It's your downline that has done most of that work.
Video and you're talking shit about the products and you're talking shit about the business and you're talking shit about this. You haven't fallen in love with the products yet.
That's a dumb argument. I can like plenty of things that are out there, and it still doesn't mean that I can like the company behind it. That's a dumb argument. It has nothing to do with falling in love with the product. It has everything to do with the immoral, unethical things that MLMs put every person through, and the fact that it is mainly built for the people at the bottom to starve and crawl their way and hope and need and want, while the people at the top are yelling, don't worry, just keep going, you'll make it up here soon, just keep going, look at us, we did it, you can do it too. Disgusting.
Because I guarantee right now, you would love to make money from. Am I wrong? Whether it be dish soap, whether it be laundry soap, whether it be a vacuum, whether it be your baby carrier, whether it be your favorite jewelry, your favorite pajamas, like why would you not want to like make money and share that? If you love it, why would you not want to do that? You're already washing your hair, okay? You're already doing what it takes to promote this product. You're already washing your hair. You're already washing your face. You're already using body wash and lotion. Some of you are already taking wellness products. Okay, I told my husband this was going to be 5 minutes, obviously. I'm a little bad with timelines. But either way, I had to get on here because I just felt, I don't even know what. I don't even know if there's... I don't even know if there's any takeaway from this live, to be honest. I am so all over the place, and I'm honestly just so fired up about everything. And here's what I do know. I do know that if you partner with me or you are on my team, like we are going big places. Like we got big things popping, okay?
I've never heard that from any other team leader, a part of any other MLM.
And I'm just so amped about it. I'm going to be sharing on my stories, like I said a little bit ago, a few of these girls who are just, what they're sharing. Like, you know, one of the girls that I just watched, her husband is a therapist and he works for the government. And she's like, you know, he does projects on the side for a nonprofit. And we like, he's gone all the time. He's working and we're hardly making ends meet and all of this. Like, am I saying this business is for every single person out there? Absolutely not. This business is absolutely not for everyone. It is not. You have to literally be your own boss. A lot of people are not capable of doing that. A lot of people do not have the self-discipline to wake up every day and be like, I am getting it, okay? And that's okay. That's totally fine. But for those of you on here watching who maybe this is, like I'm telling you right now, you have the opportunity of a freaking lifetime at your fingertips. Because if I did not say yes to this business, I would not have my 2 babies. My husband and I would be divorced. I don't know where I would be in my business now because...
Monat got you pregnant? What do you mean you wouldn't have your children? Maybe you mean the 2 children that you have with your husband because you wouldn't have been with him. You would have maybe been with someone else, and so it wouldn't be those exact children with those personalities. But I don't think that's what she meant. So I'm gonna go with Monat got her pregnant. Yikes.
I wouldn't have been able to work during, the freaking world times that we had. Like, I don't even know what my life would look like without this opportunity. And this has nothing to do with, sharing this to make a sign up bonus or anything like that, you guys. That nothing to do with that. It literally has everything to do with my passion and my belief and my stance on what this opportunity has to offer and what I see it doing for other people's lives. And if maybe one person on this...
Bye, Monat lady. The video just ends there. That's how the video was sent to me, which is honestly perfectly fine. She probably would have gone on for another 15 minutes saying absolutely nothing. She went in circles so many times. This originally started out with her talking about a TV show and how it relates to the Monat business. I don't quite understand the connection still. I think it was just an excuse to maybe get on alive and just talk. I also don't know if this was supposed to be like an opportunity call or if this was supposed to be like a motivational call, but yet it seemed like it was maybe an opportunity call because she kept saying like, you guys who are here, like, you can do this. This is for you. And also maybe a motivational call, but I don't know who would send this because she was all over the place and had absolutely no clear direction. And it's like, if you're gonna get on these calls, have a sense of direction, have at least a sense of knowing what you want to talk about and having points that you want to hit instead of, I'm going to talk about this TV show, and I'm going to talk about this, and I'm going to talk about this, I'm going to run back to the TV show. It's exhausting. I could not imagine being a part of her downline. I would be so exhausted because if her brain works like that, I couldn't I could not be with someone like that because they would probably want you to be like that as well. And it is a lot to keep up with. And she said a lot of nothing, which is very accurate for an MLM call. But she went around in circles saying a lot and having a lot supposedly behind her words, but with absolutely no meaning at all. Alright, you guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. And if you really, really liked it, please subscribe. Let's talk anything and everything Monat in the comments below. And until my next video, I will see you guys then. Bye!
Just let go and walk away.